to the channel. So in today's lecture we are going to cover report writing for SOC L2. Okay, so this is currently a new room and I'm covering it. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's directly get started to it. Okay, so in this room, let me just give you a gist. What is going to happen is that we are going to learn about the skills that are very essential for writing reports as a senior level analyst. Okay, so let's click on this. And okay, so our first topic is L1 versus L2 communications. So let me give you a brief description about it. So they are explaining about the responsibility of level 2. As level 1 analysts, can they do the excellent job of triggering alert track, identifying alerts and all and handling them. But what happens is that we need to communicate them so the world can know about it. Okay. So so if you are a SOC L2 level on L2 level, so which means that with technical skills, your communication skills also matter. So for L2, they have to write reports and they need to be more professional and sound credible. Okay. So they have explained here L2 report types, case summary for C-level, email to the MSSP customer, DFIR, team handover notes, okay. And these are the communication channels that they can use according to the reporting needs. For example, voice call, email, letter, ticketing system, corporate chat, okay. So let's move towards the questions part. So which SOC tier L1 or L2 bridges the SOC and the outside world? So that is the L2 level because they are the ones who communicate the findings and all reports. Yeah, that's the right answer. So what do L2 analysts write to summarize SOC findings? One word. So they write report. Okay, so report is a short. Let's try summary. Right. Okay, that's not the right answer. Just let me just try rather than trying just report where reports. And yes, that's the right answer. Okay. So the next topic is about leadership communication. So in leadership communication, what happens is that the internal associate team always reports to the C-level position. That can be CTO, your CISO, or even your CEO. Okay. And the SOC handles or misses an intrusion that causes business impact, you need to explain it to leadership. If they are not, whatever happened, you have to explain that to the higher leadership team, upper team, because you are on level 2. Okay. And with that, you also need to prepare periodic reports on SOC effectiveness, or you are maybe required to write a formal request to purchase or replace a security solution. So what are the points that you need to remember this C-level communication? Because C-level communication means you're communicating with this C-level position. Okay. So you need to focus on business, only the what's important for the company. Always use your formal tone. Keep it simple. Not don't use any hi-fi terminologies because there will be a maximum chance your audience will be from a non-tech background. Okay, and always talk in facts. Keep evidence. For example, it can be screenshot, snapshots, link. Okay, and never don't panic during incidents. That's by that only you can control. Okay, and if that's the case of contacting MSSP customers, so in the case of MSSP customers, what happens is that in the previous part you were communicating with the C-level position persons. Okay, Here you are going to directly communicate with dozens of customers every day. As an L2 analyst, one of the most frequent tasks and important tasks you have is reporting security threats to the customers. And this should be done through the official channel, which can be email or whatever. Okay. So here let's imagine a scenario from an open door customer. Okay. So first there is the scenario. The analyst escalates a critical alert to you about a data stealer on LPT 007. You investigate the alert deeper and found the affected developer, Bob Fisher. You confirm the impact of the incident. Okay, the stored AWS access keys has been stolen. That's the impact of the incident. You immediate the malware and isolate the laptop, but can't unsteal the AWS because your keys has been stolen, but you can't get back now. So what you do is that you urgently contact the customer and explain how to invalidate the stolen AWS keys that they can invalidate it. Okay. So now you are going to make a report. That will be your first task. And how are you going to do it? What happens is that first you will collect all the information, whatever you have and know, whatever, and make a proper report. And you're going to send it to your customer. Because in this case, we are talking about MSSP customer case. Okay. And at this point, what happens is that report will not be able to explain them the whole incident. Okay. So you have to highlight the urgency of the incident and explain what customer must do to stop it. It's your responsibility at that time. And when to expect more details from your team. So the initial goal of the report is, so what is the main initial goal of this report is that to start threat containment as soon as possible, which means that you need to explain what has happened, what it can cause to damage to your customer, and how they are going to, what they have to do to stop this thing. Okay. And whenever and you have to give them a time, or tell them about the time period when you will again reach them. Okay. So this is an example. Okay, as you guys can email example, they have sent it. As you guys can see here, two. Okay, there's SOC incident data stealer, dear customer, we are critical. This is now see suggested customer actions. You have to suggest what they have to do on their part and what to expect from your team. Okay, so as you guys can see, there is a step by doing this. First step is highlight the urgency that we have. Creating an alarming subject, you have to include that thing in your subject. Okay. And then you have to write about incident summary section. Okay. Then suggest customer actions, whatever action they need to perform. And at the last point, you have to tell them what you guys are doing to prevent that thing or to stop that thing. Okay. And in the final report, uh, this was the initial report. Okay, because it was a report at that point where you have found it and whatever you know, you have made a report and all, but you have sent them. Okay. So after that first report, there will be a communication going on. Okay, we have done this. Yeah, we have. If they have any query, they are going to ask you. Okay, so now you have to share your deeper findings with them also. And while the customer provides additional context from this side, and they will also tell you about what are the problems they are also encountering. Okay, so once all information has been gathered, you prepare a final report. So when the whole, if you have gathered information from your side and from the customer side, you are going to make a final report. And the goal of the final report is actually formal proof that your work on the incident is over. and answer all questions that customers have, such as how the attack started, why your team missed it. And in this example, you guys can see it. Okay, like root cause analysis and long term recommendation, how you are going to avoid it in the future. So I recommend go through the whole email pattern. This is an example only. Okay, so there are the steps. Some you're like, so what your final report should answer. How did the attack start? Who or what was affected? Is the attack still ongoing? What is the known impact? Why your team missed it? What will you do next? And how to prevent reinfection? Okay. So with this theory part, we are going to now solve the challenge. Okay. So we have opened the website here. As you guys can see, we have to complete it and we will get a flag for here for question 3. Okay. First, let's see the question 1 and 2. Okay. Should you complete the analysis after sharing the initial SOC report? Okay. And the next question is, should you keep your team informed about the ongoing communications? So, yeah, you should. If I'm not wrong, you should tell your team about the ongoing communication because they need to know. Because after that, customer is also going to give you a feedback. Yes, you need to communicate with them because they are going. Sometimes they are going to face some problem that you guys are not facing. Okay, so if you will tell about them, they that will help your team. Okay, to solve and to handle that incident more easily. So for the first question was that should you complete the analysis after sharing the initial SOC report? Yeah. Do you find because final analysis should be completed by after the initial should you let's but they are asking now analysis. So let's try. Like, okay, it was wrong. So it should be yes. So that means we should complete the analysis after ship because initially you don't have you can't analyze it. After getting all the knowledge you guys can analyze it. Okay, so for the question we are if we want a flag that will be obtained only when we will complete this task. Okay, so here they have given us the emails and we have to correct them. There are some errors. So we have been given 5 attempts. Okay, need to complete it. Okay, we observed the login. Informal okay, login acceptable freezing, but it must be followed with more context. So which means we have okay, um, which means our login should have more context, not just login. It can give the context about it. Immediate actions required from your side. Disable. Okay, perform data wipe in Balmer's laptop. Excessive response there because let's try formatting error here. Okay, it's incorrect because the action is formatted correctly as a proper bullet list item. Okay, for it's an excessive response. And I think once we realize it, we will share the results. Hmm. And this part, we will share the results of our investigation once we finalize it. You are, because it was the rule, you have to give them a clear timeline. So we can say it's an unclear timeline. Okay. Yeah, because you should set a real like 20, 30 minutes, 2 hours, end of the day, after 2 days, and all. Okay, let's proceed. This one was correct. Please don't ignore this mail and read above it. It is unprofessional actually. Yeah, because it can be taken as rude in some contexts. Okay, so this was also left. Okay, to J. Dot Adams, IT customer dot th, missing recipient, wrong recipient. Okay, the can appropriate. Okay, that's. Let's restart it because we need 5 points. Okay, so a login, missing context. Yes, we need more context to it. So once we finalized it, it was what? So what was the error in it? It was unclear timeline. Okay, proceed. Don't ignore this mail. Unprofessional language. Proceed. So, hmm, yeah. In this part, this is the missing recipient because your team should always be informed about the incident threat. So the team should be included in it also. Your team. Okay. Now perform data wipe of the Tim Ballmer's laptop. Okay. So context. They don't need a context here. Okay. Format is correct. So excessive response, yes. The response is too harsh and unnecessary for what's unknown right now. Okay, proceed. And with this, we have solved this side. Let's just copy the flag and post. So now let's move to the next part. Associate DFIR relationships. Okay, as you guys know, DFIR stands for Digital Forensics and Incident Response. Okay, so what is DFI? It's like more like a fire department. Whenever something major happens, okay, normal things can't handle it. So they join the efforts with the incident ownership. It's like how should I explain it? Listen, if something it's more like if on a smaller basis something incident, SOC can handle it, then it's under your SOC team. If the incident gets escalated or it's a very large incident, then the ownership of that incident will not be given to SOC team anymore. That will be transferred to your DFIR team. Okay. So at that point, DFIR are going to handle it. So in small companies, SOC and DFIR usually are one thing, same thing. But in bigger companies, they have different SOC team and different DFIR team. Okay. So so they have explained the scenario here. I suggest every one of you to go through it. So what is DFIR notes handover notes? Okay. So like C-level leadership and all, DFI team members focus less on style and language. They give you facts and evidence. Okay. They want everything to be factual and evidence proof. Not like they don't matter for them. Your language and style don't matter. What matters is that your facts and evidence. for that instance. Okay, they would expect actionable TTPs and attack artifacts from you so that they could start where you ended. Okay, so they don't need those kind of reports. They need facts and evidence. Like because we I told you now in SOC what happens that L21 the L2 analysts are going to make a report. Their main task is to communicate the reports so that findings and all. Okay, so but DFIR don't want those notes. What they want, they focus on are the raw facts and the evidences. They don't want style and all. So what they are interested in: incident context, attack timeline, attack scope, performed actions, raw indicators. Okay, so they have given an example here of DFIR handover notes. I suggest every one of you to go through it, and we are going to directly move towards the challenge part. In this, we are going to find the errors in TFIR handover notes. So as I have told you guys, wait a minute, we are going to focus on these. Incident context should be there, attack timeline, attack scope, performed actions, and raw indicators. Okay. So first question is, are L2 handover notes meant for a non-technical audience? Yeah, because they are okay. Wait, I'm sorry. Okay, they are not meant to be for non-technical audience, but we need to make sure that they can easily understand it. Also, next question is, what part of the handover notes lists your findings chronologically? Okay, attack timeline. They explain the whole timeline of the attacks. Okay, so now directly move towards this website part. Okay, let's just read this. Case summary: engineering workstation and Acme Corp was compromised via malicious PYPI package. Okay. Uh, okay. Attacker established persistent and exfiltrated credentials from the local system. The customer is aware, and the host has been isolated from the network. But given the overall nature of the circumstances surrounding the incident, well, we are saying that. But given the overall nature of the circumstances surrounding the incident, they're not giving them the facts. Please remain the mail clear. Mm, so this is wrong, but it should be an unnecessary text. They don't explain anything. We feel it is important to note that the customers OT environment may have been affected in some way. May have been, they are not sure about it. It's ambiguous phrasing because they are not giving answers. They are adding more because they are saying now OT environment may have been affected in some way. May have, it's your task. Okay, that's correct. So what? Okay, they have given a timeline. If pip install, okay, command was executed. Missing actor was executed on then a shared workstation owned by. So what I'm missing actor because their actor is missing irrelevant detail. Detail is not irrelevant. So this option is missing error actor. Sorry. The command because what happens the command can't launch on its own. They need where it was started. Okay. Next is the attacker use reverse shell. Okay. Option the resulting archive was exfiltrated. They have no evidence because as you guys can see here, it is not supported with the indicators like target IP or domain. You need to give a proof. But what happens is that in handover, DFI handover notes, you need to give evidence of every single thing you are claiming in that. Okay, indicators or other IPs missing what there is no context in this missing context. What do you mean by other IPs? You need to give the context. Now let's restart because our first was because it's unnecessary text. An OT environment may have been affected in some way. Ambiguous phrasing was executed. Missing actor. You need an actor. Was exfiltrated. You no evidence because you need evidence to prove every single thing you are stating in your handover notes. And other IPs missing context. And with this, we have completed this also. Let's just copy the flag and now we are going to paste it directly in here. And yes, we have completed it also. So next is our next topic is responsible AI usage. So how an AI can be used in SOC report writing. Okay. So in this part, I recommend every one of you to go through this theory conceptual parts directly toward the question and answers part. Should you fully rely second on solving the second question first? Okay. So should you fully rely on Gen AI for critical decision making? Can't fully rely on it. So I'm gonna say no. Can't fully rely on your AI. What should you provide in the AI prompt to get the best reports? Okay. So what should we AI is only good at what experiment and find a golden prompts. This is responsible AI monitoring modes. We need to provide case context then in a context. Yes. And with this, we have completed this room also. So thank you guys for watching. And if you love my videos, do like, share, and subscribe my channel. And thank you for watching.